everybody. Welcome to another episode of Alta Call MAFS. I am your host, Tane, here to recap season 19 reunion. I cannot believe we are here. I had to bring him back because who else would do the reunion with me? It's your guy, Jason. Hi, Jason. How are you?
Oh, whoa.
Nope.
We
Nope.
should, look, okay, so yeah,
Nope.
let me start this out with an apology.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
I
Mm-hmm.
apologize to
Mm-hmm.
all the other altar call
Mm-hmm.
contributors,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you want to call them, for telling everybody to suck it because I was Tane's favorite last time. I know that some people, I'm not going to name names, were upset. So let me take the time to apologize to them now. So
Mm-hmm.
there it is. There's your apology. I rescind all my suckets.
Mm-hmm.
So happy to be here with you, Tane. Listen, I am the last person on here to talk about Married at First Sight season 19 with you. So I'll take that as my favorite label for here for now. But I'm happy to be here to close out this season that I think we can all agree ended way too fast.
Yes. And I want to say, I'll say this. I'll say this. The reunion was the weakest episode for me.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was the weakest. I just feel like I wouldn't have minded if we had two parts. It just, we didn't get
Is
into anything.
is it because it was so traumatic? I mean, just and the fact that it's released back to back with
Yeah.
you probably didn't watch it back to back, but
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
And it was like just this traumatic shift from like, oh, five couples, first time this ever happened. Yeah, some are shaky,
Yeah.
but hey, who knows what will happen? Reunion, just devastation through from all corners. And I definitely think it was very kind of rapid fire of like, all right,
Yeah.
it seemed like they were in a rush, right?
Yes.
It felt that way. So I can definitely see why you would say it was weak. But I mean, I guess I liked it because it was. I think there's the balance there, right? Because when we had two parts, there was a lot of filler. It was like
Yeah.
I don't need a girls segment of just how close they are.
Yeah.
I don't need a 2 minute boys segment where they're all just like, yeah, we're good. Which is what all the men segments are on these readings. Like, yeah, we talk. We're all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think there's that balance. I do think we really rushed through some things. So I can see where you get that from. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I would say I liked it, but I didn't love it. Right? I could
Mm-hmm.
have definitely used more focus on things, more
Yes.
digging into topics.
More
Listen,
accountability.
I still more accountability. I still don't know about that Josh X. I'm still wondering like where in the heck. Um,
More experts. I
More
just wanted
experts.
to hear. So, and you have to consider that when it was how many other parts and the other, it was 2 hours. This is an hour. So if we got
Yeah.
two parts of an hour, I think we could have, dived, divin more into
Yeah.
into stuff.
I mean, so we were talking on our podcast about this, and Asia really, really liked the reunion. She was saying she enjoyed the fact that everyone was on stage together.
Yes, I did like that.
There were no breakouts into
Yes.
couples,
Mm-hmm.
and I was saying, it really kind of felt it gave it more of a you can say Love Is Blind for sure, but it
Yeah.
also gives like this 90 Day Fiance feel, right? We're
Yeah.
in the tell all phase right now of 90 Day Fiance. It really
Yeah.
gives that feel where everyone's able to kind of chime
Chime
in
in. Mm-hmm.
and give their opinions on things, which at the time I was like, I don't think I really got that much out of it. It was just more people co-signing each other.
Yeah.
But I do wonder if with couples like Chad and Belinda, would Chad have been more open if it was just him and Belinda? Because at
No.
a certain point, it feels like there is a gang up on Chad moment with all the other women there. I'm sure of like how he felt at the crawfish boil, but I don't know if we would have gotten anything different. So I don't know. I'm not sure.
There's a way it could be done because we just did the rewatch for season 9 and they still did the whole reunion in an hour and some. And I mean, I think the only difference is that they did bring each couple out one by one and then everybody sat on stage. So maybe a little tweaking. It still wasn't long and they got into everything, and then have the experts have a little segment, 15 minutes or anything. It doesn't have to be that long, and then I don't know, get
Yeah,
it done.
but
But it was
I,
decent.
I guess what would the experts have said? I mean, their advice this season was a suspect at some points. So I don't know what they would have said that I would have been like, oh yeah, totally, because I don't know if they know what they're talking about at this point.
And I think it falls under the accountability section for me because I still want to know why they thought Chad was a good candidate. Like,
Yes,
they're not going to
for
tell us, but I want to see them try
sure. I want to see him
and lie to
squirm.
myself. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. But before we dive in, a little housekeeping, guys. Patreon.com/AltaCall MAFS. MAFS is done, but I still have bonus episodes over there. I am covering 90 Day Fiance, The Tell All. Part one, part two is up there. Part three will be there next week. And Mr. Jason Fave is going to be there for the last part.
I come in at the end, wrap everything up, close it out. I'm the
Jason is
closer.
always he's a closer, so he's gonna be there. The challenge, I do recaps every week. It's winding down. We are finally at the finals.
You still haven't invited me. I'm waiting. I
I,
mean,
I I did invite you. I did on record. So
you made it vague. You made it vague. I'm waiting for a specific invite, but
guys,
we'll
step in
we'll talk
for
about that
me.
offline. We'll talk
All
about
right,
it
we'll
offline.
do that. And yet with maps going on, this is Thanksgiving weekend. I am giving myself a break because need a break. But I'll be back the week after and continuing, like I told you, picking up couples therapy. We've been covering that. Had to drop it a little. We have 4 episodes, I think, left for season 4. It's on Paramount. It's on Showtime. Check that out. And picking up coverage of Love Island, Italy. I don't know what they're gonna
You
give
mean
us.
Love is Blinded?
Love is Blind. I don't know why I keep saying Love Island. Thank you. Love is Blind Italy. Gonna cover season 1. It's their first time over there. So I am interested to see what they give us. So that coverage will also start next week. So stay subscribed so you can hear that. And if there's anything else that you want to hear, anything you want me to cover, let me know. Okay. This reunion. Do you think everyone was just on their best behavior for the season and then came to the reunion and was like, "I'm sick of this and this is me." Like what was this? Who were these men?
Yeah, it's crazy in the in the realm of reality TV shows. It's like, why are these men just so messy and terrible? And it really was giving Love is Blind UK season 2 vibes with these men that
Oh,
were just like suddenly
Jason
just like,
went back.
you know what? I don't like you. I'm out. Just
Yeah,
abruptly and
yeah,
coldly just ditching their
yeah,
women. I was like, what in the heck is this? Because almost every single man was just it seemed to be sudden to be like, you know what? We're done.
yeah. I'm done. Yeah.
Josh, Will, Pat, even our
Mm-hmm.
Saint Pat was just like
Mm-hmm.
was. I mean, listen, I'm sure we're all just like, yeah, Pat, be done. But in the way that he did it, it's just like, oh, why you have to be like all the other men? Uh, Chad, I mean, even Chad's thing was like a sudden thing where he didn't break it off. Belinda broke it off for good reasons, but it's like,
Yay.
what is going on? And it was interesting. There was like such a spectrum of the times it was over, right? Because we had some people like Will and Brittany that were done a week.
Mm-hmm.
Chad and
Mm-hmm.
Belinda done probably a few days into it, and then you got Jalen and Josh who lasted for
A little over here.
congrats Jalen and
Mm-hmm.
Josh who lasted the longest for like what a year or
Yeah,
year.
they just broke up 4 months ago or something like that.
Yeah, like 3 months ago. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's tough to like get here. Like I joked in our Facebook group. I was like, I did a GIF where it was like, from decision day to reunion. It was like a car that's going and then breaks like, all the pieces break apart by the time
As
it
it
gets
was
to where
going.
it's going. It's just like I don't think we've ever seen something like that. And for the experts to leave decision day and be like, "Woo, 5 for 5, high
Yeah.
fives," and then like, come on, y'all, like for them to be like, "Woo, yeah, 5 for 5," not be like, "Ooh, there's a couple of those that aren't going to last." Like, don't
I'm
be celebrating, yo. I know they're putting it in the official stats. They're like, "Ooh, our average is going to go up. It's going to skyrocket. I love this." But y'all knew what was happening when that was going. I don't know if they would have predicted all 5 would be
yeah.
destroyed and in ruins, but yeah, I'm not sure what the phenomenon is of these men. Is it the recruiting they're doing? Is it what is it? Like I don't know.
It's a combination of a lot of things. I mean, let me think about this. None of these people should have said yes. Okay, I will say Derek and Megan were the only ones that I thought maybe, but even because remember when I was on your podcast, I said Jalen, that's a no, for her. So
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like on decision day, I wasn't expecting people to say yes.
I think
Not gonna lie.
I think I said Jalen and Josh should have said yes to see what would happen, right?
Yeah.
Because there wasn't anything there that's, at the time, seemed like it was going to be devastating. Josh had his whole Burning Man thing, but nothing there seemed to me of like nothing that couldn't be worked out.
Mm-hmm.
Will and Brittany should have been a no.
Mm-hmm.
Chad and Melinda should have been a no.
Mm-hmm.
Pat and Ron should have been a no. So yeah, Chandler and
Mm-hmm.
Josh and Derek and Megan, I thought were should have been the true yeses.
Yeah.
Everyone else, you're just saying yes to put a band-aid on this thing. It's like putting a band-aid over a bullet hole, right?
Yeah.
So you're saying you're going to work it out, but I don't think any of us have any faith that it's going to work out for you guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think two of the couples should have said yes. And from what Derek told us later, he wasn't happy. I'm like, bro, get the hell out of here.
Jason, we kind of called it though. Remember, we were like, he just said, "I love you," just to make things happy. He wasn't
Yeah,
really, but I thought they had worked things out. But I think it
yeah,
goes back to there was a comment that I got for episode 12 where someone was like, "The baby just took over everything," and I think maybe even myself, I was blinded by that. I thought they had worked through things, but it is true there was a baby in the mix, and maybe it was just again a band-aid, and there was still a lot of stuff
yeah.
that they had to work through.
It's complicated, right? Because even before they found out about the baby, they had exchanged love yous. They
Mm-hmm.
had really seemed to work everything out, and then we had the baby news. But yeah, once you have that baby in your mind and in your thoughts, you overlook so many things
Yeah.
because hey, we've got the baby coming. Like that's what our mind is on. So
Yeah.
I definitely get that. But then
Mm-hmm.
for him to be like, well, I wasn't happy. It was like, I mean, like, bro, that's not what you were saying in the moment.
Well,
Okay, like
it's
because you could be solving a baby and recognize your issues, but he was all like, "No, this is great. Like this is what I always wanted. This is fantastic." And then for him to sit up here and say, "Oh, I was never happy," I'm like, get the hell out of here.
if you watch Sister Wives, that's his best Cody Brown. That's Cody saying, "I
but
never
so,
loved any of them."
but Derek was over here performing for
Yeah.
his new one. He was like, I never loved her, babe.
Uh,
He was like, he might as well been talking to the camera of like, babe, I was never into this. Trust me, trust me.
nope,
Like I
not the
never
same.
loved her. It's all about you now, babe. It's all about you. I never loved her. He was performing.
If this episode could have a title, it would be "Who the fuck did I marry?" That's exactly what
Mm.
this was. This is what I would call it. But we'll dive in
Tyler
with
Perry's Why Did I Get Married 3.
19.
Yeah, 19 at this
But
point.
so we're gonna start with Jalen and Josh. The whole cast is gathered together, like Jason mentioned, which is great. We like seeing them. I think that all the women look great.
Yeah, for sure. They
All look
can't.
good.
Rhonda Rhonda is gonna Rhonda because she had the black dress that
Yeah.
took up almost all the couch.
Ruffles.
Rhonda always has to make it all. Rhonda always has to take up all the space in the room. All the space is Rhonda's. That was true to her nature.
And it was black. I was like, is this like a funeral? Like, what is this symbolic? Or am I reading
I
too
bet you
much
that's
into
why.
it?
I bet you that was her rationale too. Like it's like a funeral for our relationship. I might as well, right?
When the reunion pictures came out, my friend saw it and was like, yeah, they're not together anymore. That's a revenge bod right there for Brittany. She's like, she's not with
Mm.
Will anymore. It's kind of like what oh God, Michelle last season when she came and she was
Oh
like, "Oh,
yes.
I am coming in
Mm-hmm.
gold." Also, it looks like gold is the revenge
Yep.
color.
It's like, oh, Michelle been working out. She got
That's
herself
it.
together. Okay,
Yep.
go show David what he missed out on. Um,
She said
he's like,
that
nah.
actually.
He's like, nah, babe, I got my baby right here, baby. Um, but actually, when the reunion looks came out, we were actually like live on our Patreon. We were doing our
Okay.
Patreon episode, and
Yeah.
all the looks dropped. We were on our Patreon with your best bud Brian, and
Okay, Jason.
I had to have him on, see what all the fuss was about. Um, but we had Brian on, and all the looks dropped, and we were going through the looks. We were like,
Mhm.
okay, Pat is with nobody because Pat looked like he just crawled out of bed
No
and
one
came
told
into
him,
this
"Honey,
thing.
you can't wear that."
Right,
Okay.
exactly. I think we thought Jalen and Josh were still together because I think we thought they
Same.
matched.
Same. I was like, they
Um,
have the same color, so yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
And Will and Brittany, we were like, I don't know. Will was kind of a stylish guy already, so I don't know if Brittany would have gotten in together. But I think we said green and gold kind of complement each other, so maybe we were iffy on that. We all agreed that Brittany looked rather fine in her picture.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. I'm not sure if we had any other like hot takes from the looks or not. I think we even thought Derek and Megan were together because like,
Because
oh
they
yeah,
had blue.
yeah,
They were
and
matching
it's like,
too.
oh, she got him together with the hair. She fixed his hair. um, but listen, wrong on all counts, I guess. So yeah, that's kind of where we were with the looks of it all.
I don't know how I felt about that too, because we're not used to them dropping reunion looks. Like this is
Mm-hmm.
all, different
This is
from the
new
show.
peacocky stuff.
Actually, before we get into the couples, I'm gonna jump way, way, way ahead to the end when Kevin was like, "Yay, Kevin was back." I was so excited about that. That
Mhm.
Kevin said, "We're back next year with a new season, more couples than ever." And then we get a preview. We don't see who the experts are. We see some of the couples, but I hear something that has my stomach drop. Oh, I've seen you in a lot of shows. Jason,
Yeah,
I am worried about that. And the internet is speculating that it is JR from Perfect Match
I know why they think that
because of the
because
braids.
because of the braids. Because I thought that too. I was like, but more people have that hairstyle than not, and I don't think it's Jr. Because we're in
Okay.
Seattle. We don't know because so when I'm looking at my closed caption, I
Yes.
hear he's been in a few shows. My closed
Yes.
caption says he's. I didn't hear he's, so I'm not sure if the closed caption got it wrong. Did you hear he's been in a few shows, or did you hear
You've Oh, I
you've
heard.
been in a few
Oh,
shows?
see, now the mind playing tricks on
Yeah.
me. I
So
thought I heard he.
you know who I think it
Yeah,
might
because
be?
the girl said he. I saw him. He's not a stranger. He's been on a few
Well,
shows.
no, because it was a man saying so and so has been on a few shows. The woman
Oh,
was like, I've seen this man before, but I think the woman in that couple means like we know each other. Like it's not that's not the same couple. Like we know each other from something or somewhere. But I think
okay,
this one because I don't think it said he's. I'm gonna cut
okay,
out the he's.
okay.
I think if I was to put a bet on it, I would say it's Micah from Love Is Blind.
See, that doesn't even help for me. My stomach is still in knots because once we start doing that, Jason, I'm worried about our show. I'm not even going to lie
Yeah,
to you. Once we start
I get
doing
it.
that, and also add to the rumors that it's not going to be a legal marriage anymore.
What?
That that's the rumors that are flying around, that it's
Oh,
not. That is going to change everything. That is the only
wow.
thing keeping people even pretending to be interested and being like,
We
"Oh, I don't
literally
want to
heard
do
it.
it."
We literally
Yeah.
heard it this season from someone that I forgot who it was.
Yeah.
It might have been Brittany, but like if we weren't actually married, I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd be still
Yeah.
here.
They all
So
said it in
that's
the kitchen. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely
So,
an interesting story because if you watch the international versions,
yeah.
which are not legal marriages, those people pieced out real
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
So much so they had to bring a rotating cast of people in to be
Yeah.
like one drops, we got another one ready to come right in. And the fact that they like you said, Kevin said, we have more couples than ever before. It's like,
Yeah.
what does that mean? What is they've been on a few shows means? If it is
Yes.
Micah, because we're in Seattle,
Yes.
and if you recall, Micah was on the Seattle season of Love Is Blind. Micah's
Perfect
been on Love Is
match.
Blind and Perfect Match. So I think that's something that could be the case there. Um, but that's just a wild speculation guess. I have no other things about it. But yeah, the fact that they're casting people that have been on other shows is worrisome, especially for the
Yeah.
fact that this is going to be the first,
Peacock.
full Peacock version. They might want to be going more, and it feels like they want a facsimile of Love Is Blind,
Yep.
and that's what they're going to be trying to do here.
Yep.
Is a little concerning for sure.
Yep. So that is my concern, is like it's not going to be serious, and then it's good. And I don't know if you watched Love Island this season. That was so toxic. And I'm just, at least MAFS, we're still kind of like, respectable, cute in our little
Yeah,
niche. This
yeah.
is just going to be a whole thing. And it's not, yeah, I don't know. So we'll see. But I have a little concern about this, and we'll see what happens. Just wanted to get that out.
Yeah, I think they might be trying to go for like a cross between a Love Is Blind, and I think they might be trying to make it more toward the international versions, which at one point is good because I like kind of the format of those where they literally have weekly sessions and where they sit down on the couch, in front of everyone with the experts and talk through their issues. So that part of it I would be more inclined to like, but if we're going for more salacious content,
Yeah. Uh,
I don't know if I'm like all in on that. I love mess, but I
Yeah.
love like genuine, real relationship mess, and that might not be exactly what our show is intended for.
We've already been headed to Salacious the last few seasons. So I think they're just gonna lean full
But I
in.
but I like our level of salaciousness because
Yes.
it feels more real.
Yeah.
But if you keep on bringing in like constant f boys, like David was an f boy, but David stood out as like the only F boy.
Yeah.
And like I don't think you're getting a lot of Camille Thomases if you go toward a
Yeah.
more
Mhm.
salacious brand
Yeah.
of this show. You know,
And you
I feel like you need all that to mix together. It can't all be fuck boys and fuck girls. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they're lowering the stakes. So that combination is just not, what it is. But and also if we do like Australia where it's like stay or leave, we're not going to have anybody left in
Oh
the
no,
American
yeah.
version. We're not going to
Oh,
have anyone left.
if you
So
give them a clear out,
that's
yeah,
a
they're
risk.
gonna take it. Yeah.
So, okay. All right, guys. We're going to dive in, but I'll take a break and then come in and start with Jalen and Josh. The holidays are almost here, and if you still have names on your list, don't panic. Uncommon Goods makes holiday shopping stress free and joyful with thousands of one of a kind gifts you can't find anywhere else. You'll discover presents that feel meaningful and personal, never rushed or last minute. Uncommon Goods look for products that are high quality, unique, and crafted by independent artists, so every gift feels special and thoughtfully chosen. I saw these super comfy crewneck sweatshirts by Kindle and Jake Chambers, where you can have your pets' cute little faces custom embroidered on them. And I just know my friends with fur babies would absolutely love them, so they're in my cart. I'm gonna get them for Christmas gifts. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3.1 million to date. So don't wait. Make this holiday the year you give something truly unforgettable. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/altacallmafs. That's uncommongoods.com/altacallmafs for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. All right. They start with Megan saying how close she is to all the ladies, and then she specifically says, "Me and Brittany work out all the time." Like Brittany and Megan are besties; they basically hang out
Mm-hmm.
all the time. And then she says, "Oh, I'm close to Chad." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I wasn't just expecting that, but they are close. But they have the men on one side and the women on another side. So,
Well, and Megan says she works underneath Chad,
yeah.
which is like, what is that? We were trying to figure out what does that mean exactly. Is he your boss? Like, does he work literally above you in your office building? You work for the same company now? Like, what does it mean? I took it to mean that he's now her boss in the real estate, whatever she does, which I'm still not
I
clear
thought
about.
she had her own business, so I thought like they had like a partnership in some form because I couldn't remember what Chad does for a living.
Well,
So I think
Chad's real estate. Chad is commercial real estate, and she
oh, and
is
she's
some other real
commercial
estate.
something.
Yeah, I
Space,
think maybe.
commercial space something. Well,
Yeah,
see,
so
if we had two parts, might have gone into that.
yeah, so I guess maybe either Chad got a job at her company or she got a job at Chad's company. I don't know.
Chad barks orders. He doesn't work for anyone. I'm just kidding. But but Kevin reminds us that on Jalen's wedding day, she got a ticket for Burning Man. And did she use it? I gotta tell you, I forgot that she got a ticket. He said it and I could see it in my mind, and I was like, oh, that's true. He did give her a ticket. And then we find out that she actually went 4 months after
I
decision day, and I felt bamboozled. Like,
I was shocked, utterly shocked.
we,
She was so insistent, but then in my mind, I was like, we already know how manipulative he can be, and I'm sure after decision day camera, after the cameras left, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna feel so bummed that I can't go to Burning Man, but I don't want to go without you." I'm sure he laid it on thick enough
yeah,
where he eventually wore her down and got her to go. Which
yeah.
I mean, but it seemed like she enjoyed it. It seemed
She
like she
had a
didn't
great
like
time.
regret the decision.
Yeah, she had a great time. I mean, she looked good. She said she understood why he was so passionate about it. We actually get pictures of her there. She said she had a good time, but I still felt deceived. We had to listen to this conversation for hours on end in the edited version. And after all said and done, you still went and you were going to go. Or maybe she didn't know, but either way, I still felt deceived.
Oh yeah, but I mean, but it's not shocking though because we did see all the times he convinced her to do things that were
Yeah,
quote unquote outside her comfort zone,
yeah.
whether it be jumping in the water at their honeymoon or skydiving or whatever it was. So
Hmm.
it wasn't like I was shocked, but it was like
Hmm.
okay, it kind of makes sense because he is one of those very persistent people that you can call it manipulative or whatever. It was like he's probably just they probably flip flopped like 5 times. Like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna go. Or like, oh, it would be nice to go. Are you sure you don't want to go? It would mean a lot to me if you went. Actually, like, so it wouldn't. It doesn't surprise me that he eventually wore her down and got her.
I think Mari's the one who told me that you can actually leave. I thought you couldn't leave the grounds
Mm-hmm.
of
See
Burning
that
Man.
I forgot. And I thought Mari came on and told us that you couldn't leave. So I don't
I
know
hope
what it
I'm not
was.
saying. I hope I'm not saying the wrong
I
thing.
don't
I can't.
know
Someone told me.
because on my show I was going like, but there's not. But you can just leave, right? You can go and leave, and everybody's like, oh no, you don't get it, man. You don't get Burning Man. You can't just leave. I was like, but you leave at some point, right? So you can't you just leave early?
Okay, it wasn't Mari. Someone sent a comment in, and I read it when Mari was on here. They were like, "Oh, you can leave," and I was like, "Oh, okay, that changes everything for me because
Yeah.
I thought you couldn't leave." So I don't
Well,
know.
everyone that I've said this to on every podcast, like, no, Jason, you don't get it. You can't leave. You're stuck there for 10 days. It's impossible to get in and out. I'm like, I don't think that's true. I think you can find some way to leave. Like, whether you rent
It's
a car and drive there and you just leave at any point you want to, I don't think you're held hostage for 10 days. They're like, oh, no, no, man, you don't get it. You don't get how serious Burning Man is.
it
Like
sounds unsafe.
yeah, like, I don't think anyone's there holding you at gunpoint. But she stayed there all 10 days. She's like,
She
she
did.
did the whole thing.
Yeah, she said it meant a lot to Josh. They bonded. We see the selfie cam. They were building their camp. She said she adapted to his life. She was up till 6 a.m. And then her voice breaks. And then Kevin is like, I noticed you're
Ugh.
not wearing the big fat ring that he gave her. And then she says they're no longer together. And I just want to say, Jason, I feel like we were vindicated because I think we were one of the few people who thought that we side eyed Josh a
Mhm,
little
yeah.
bit. And we're
I
like,
mean,
huh,
in the
yeah.
beginning was like, this
Mm,
feels too good to be true.
mm-hmm.
And then he started showing his true colors
Mm-hmm.
as the season was going on. It was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that whole "do not roll your eyes" at me was like, whoa, okay,
Where'd that come from?
mask is slipping a little bit. Mask is slipping. So it sounds like for a lot of these people,
Mm-hmm.
masks fell very soon after
Very,
cameras
very
left,
soon. But
and
it
Josh feels like one of them.
Yeah, and again, if we had two parts, what happened to the ring? Did she give it back?
Mhm,
Since he
yeah.
bought it, it wasn't the show. Who has it? Where is it? These are the things I want to know. you
Well,
know?
it seems like Josh is like flush with cash because he's out here just like buying motorcycles and trucks willy nilly. So I don't know if he was that worried about the ring and like, oh well, how will I get that money back? He's whatever roofing, quote unquote roofing business he's up to. Sounds like it's doing real well. So I don't know if he cared that much, but yeah, in a world where we just came off of Love Is Blind,
Yeah.
where what did you
The
do with the
ring.
ring became
Yeah.
very prevalent. That was a good question.
Yeah. Then she says they're no longer together. They broke up 3 months ago and it was very out of nowhere. And they were like, huh? They were on
Mhm.
vacation. And he was like, I don't feel connected to you and I want to break up. And I was like, okay, Love is Blind UK, because that happened also,
Yeah.
where it was like a domino effect. There's something in the water. I tell you.
Something's
So,
going on. Like I just imagine them like at a resort location. They're in their pool chairs by the pool, and he literally just turns to her and be like, "You know what? I'm not connected to you anymore. We're done." I'm like, "What?" Like, it's that's so crazy to me that you can be that. I mean, it feels a little
nonchalant,
like
just, yeah.
feels a little psychotic to be honest with you.
It Especially since he was so focused on semantics. She's like, "Oh, we broke up." He was like, "No, it was at home." Okay,
No,
who cares?
we didn't break up on vacation. We broke up at home. But you started to break up on vacation, did you not? It's like,
Yeah,
come on.
that's not
And,
like
and for
the
and for her to be like, but I convinced him to, hold off on it. I was like, why? At that point, how do you continue your vacation after your spouse just turned to you and was like, yeah, we're not connected anymore. I want to break up. Like, what did you go on with the rest of your vacation as if that didn't happen? Like, what's the vibe like at that point? At that point, I'm
yeah,
just like, okay, well, one of us is leaving this vacation,
and
and it
it
ain't gonna
ain't
be me.
me.
So
Mm.
you can pack up your stuff and leave the vacation. Let me have my fun over here. Who was it? Was it Kristen a few seasons ago? Where like we canceled the engagement, but I went on the honeymoon anyway. That's what I'd be doing. Like, you can go. You don't want to be together no more. Go get your happy ass back to the wherever we came from. But and for her to be like, yeah, we started there and then it continued on at home. I was like, why are you even trying to continue
It's
this at
an
home?
ongoing breakup.
Yeah,
Like, it
I don't
wasn't
get
like
that.
one time. It was like part one, and then we had a relationship. Then we had part two, because she says after that, rightfully so, she was insecure. She was on eggshells. But then they were still going out because they went to a concert together. I'm like, okay, I'm not
What?
going anywhere with you.
Right, exactly. The only place we're going is a couples therapist. If that's the thing we want to do, like we're not going out to no concert to have fun. After you just turned to me and was like, "We have no connection. It's over." Like I don't get these people. I really don't.
I would be scared because I'm thinking everything's okay and we're having fun and I think we're together. And then you come from me and we're like, we have no connection. Like, who are you? I would sleep with
Yeah,
one eye open. Like, I don't
yeah.
even want to be
Don't let
anywhere
him.
near you.
Don't let him take you anywhere. Don't be like, "We're going to a concert." Don't get in his car. Meet him
Yeah,
at the concert.
yeah. So then these people are in their wild stories. They're at the concert, a girl looks at them and she's like, who's that? And then he's like, oh, I don't know. Not sure who it
Mhm.
is. And she's like, well, did you have sex with her? Well, did he say, is this what she's, no, yes. Did you have sex with her? And Josh is like, I would like to change that. That's not what she said.
Actually, that's not what you said. Okay, you said, "Did you fuck her?" It's like, okay, bro. Like, who
Focus.
cares what I said? Like, like, why are you trying to like quote me? Like, why are we doing that? It's like, okay, I'm just like, yeah, okay. I said fuck, sure. Who cares? We're on Peacock. We can say that now. Like,
Who corrects someone talking about how you broke my heart to say, no, you didn't say sex, you said fuck? Like, what?
like
What?
is Will's thing for correcting people catching? Is it contagious? Like,
It's
what is going on?
contagious.
Like, what's happening? Well,
I was
actually,
like,
what actually happened is like, who cares? I think he was trying to like he was trying to make her out to be like this crazy
yeah.
person, like yelling, talking about. Well, actually, you said fuck, as if that's like makes the stakes so
Like,
much
oh, she
bigger.
was so rude or something. Like,
Yeah,
that's besides the point in the grand
like
scheme of
okay, bro,
things.
whatever, bro. And it's like, and yeah, she's like, yeah, rightfully so. I was a little paranoid, on
Mm-hmm.
edge.
Mm-hmm.
So she was seeing ghosts everywhere. She's like, did you fuck that lady? Which who knows? Maybe he
She
did.
was
Maybe he
probably
didn't.
right.
I don't know.
Women's intuition. But I'm mad that they got into the car and she apologized. Like, don't apologize. Like, just
Do
go.
not
And she's like,
apologize.
oh, why are you acting so cold? And he's like, I'm not acting cold. I am cold.
Oh my
Dun,
god, bro!
dun, dun.
Dexter, it's Dexter. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. He's gonna kill you,
That was not it. I am cold. You need to pack your things and leave.
Jalen, don't even go back in the house with him. Just go. Just leave.
And Josh is like, yeah, that's not how that went. They're like, okay, how did it go? He goes, well, I was like, I don't want to be with you anymore. And you're right. You should pack your things when we get home. And everyone's like, what? Wait. What's the
Oh my
difference?
gosh.
But Will is making faces the whole time. I'm so annoyed because we never got to find out what those faces meant. I mean, eventually they're going to ask him, but the faces are happening in the background. And it's so distracting to me because I'm like, Will, do your thing. Blurt
So,
things out. Do not.
and here's the thing, right? This is an edited product.
Mm-hmm.
Why did they, number one, show Will and his faces?
If they were
Number
not.
two,
Mm-hmm.
ask him about it, and then and then
Gave us a nothing burger.
he half answers, and then we don't
Nothing
get
burger.
any
Yeah.
follow up.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you even put that in the edit? Like, I was so annoyed by that. Like, why are we going to put that in there if we don't get an actual
Telling
answer?
you, this reunion was not it for me.
Yeah.
But yeah. But she says apparently I'm a level 2 on the adventure scale. I'm like, oh, what are the levels? Someone tell me what this video game is. And she's like, I've done all the things that you've asked me to do. And he's like, yeah. Then we're like, when did you realize this? Yeah, I realized this when I bought a truck and a bicycle. What?
Huh? It's like, and when I'm impulsive when I'm unhappy. I bought those things impulsively,
Oh
so
my
obviously
God.
I'm not happy. Like, who are you? Like, what are you, a human? Like, what is happening here?
I loved her, but I lost myself, Kevin. Kevin's like, how? He's like, I wasn't really missing anything, but
No,
but I
that's why.
wanted I wanted my partner to love it as much as I did. And I'm like, are we dealing with a case of arrested development? Because something's not
Yeah,
adding up right here. And then Jalen is like, he's always chasing the highs and he needs a constant high. Nailed
she
it.
nailed it. She nailed it so good. I was like, yes, Jalen, yes. And I don't even know if I could have like nailed that. It was like,
Mm-hmm.
obviously she knows him a lot better than we do. So the fact that she's like, I was actually able to like put it on something. He's chasing a high. Basically, their relationship got boring. It went on too long, and he decided he needed something new. So, and he's an adrenaline junkie because we've heard him before. It's like 'cause when they had the little argument in the apartment, they're like, "Oh yeah, my friends said I jumped into this, like I jumped into everything else." It's like, oh,
Yeah.
so this is a habit for you.
Habit.
This is something you do a lot. So obviously he was just feeling unfulfilled for whatever reason, because I don't know. I don't know what would have made him feel fulfilled, but it feels like he just
Good
needs something
segue.
new all the time.
I have a take. Good segue. And hopefully, like, I hope you didn't say this on your show again. I try not to listen so I don't get all mumbled. So, for all the things I've heard about Burning Man, right? Everyone he says different things. It's drugs, it's orgies, it's things or whatever. When he said she's not adventurous enough, I thought threesomes.
She wouldn't go in the orgy tent. She would
Yes,
not go in the
she
orgy tent
doesn't
at
want to
Burning
do
Man.
that because you can't go from, because it's true. She did everything that you've asked of her. You've been testing the waters, you've been doing that. I know he never asked her because Jalen would spill in a hot second. But once
Mm,
he just said, I woke up one day and then she's not adventurous enough. What is not adventurous enough when Burning Man was the crux and she did go to that. So now I'm thinking the unsaid thing is that's what he wants to do. And she's like, I don't want to do that. And I want to read something because someone asked him about his community and Burning Man. And someone was like, why is that so important to you? And he's like, the party life is important to me. It's not necessarily about the party, it's about the people. It's about feeling like I belong to something I've never felt before. I was an extreme version of an introvert, 28 years old, never did anything, never hung out with anyone, went to work, gym, home, entire life. So when I found the EDM community, my social life completely changed. I felt like I belonged, accepted. No one taught me a lot, but I was also unable to play sports. These are all things we heard on the show. So I
yeah.
don't know why he's repeating himself, but he said Burning Man is another place that brought him back to his roots, reminding him how far he's come. I'm not laughing at him. It's just
I am.
it's like this year, for example, I was walking around and wandered upon a skating rink that is built at Burning Man. And for a moment, I thought back to when I was 8 years old, watching my grandma scrape the pennies in her purse to take me to the skating rink. Basically, I don't,
What the
a
fuck?
lot of what Josh
Well,
says doesn't add up.
well, and that's a problem with a lot of people on this season in particular, and on reality shows in general. They say a lot without saying a single thing that I can really pick up on or relate to. It feels like
Yeah,
they're just saying things that sound good, but there's
yeah,
no actual substance with them. And that sounds like kind of
yes,
what Josh is talking about. Because
yes.
like a skating rink at you can find a skating rink
Anywhere.
anywhere, my dude. So it's like that's not a special thing to Burning Man.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's it sounds like he likes to go places and do drugs a lot. And maybe Jada wasn't into the drug part as much, but I
But
can
it
kind
felt
of
like,
yeah,
yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I can kind of relate to him a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, yeah, I have these passions, and yes, Jalen is coming to me with the passions, but I'm not feeling like she is as invested as I
As
am
yeah,
at the passion. He said this, and Jalen was like, yeah, duh, we knew that already. Like
yes,
you said yes, knowing this. So what's
yes,
the problem now? I think he thought he would be able to convince her to be as passionate as he was,
yeah.
but she wasn't. Yes, she's a willing participant to go these things. I feel like Chad now. What does willing mean exactly? It's like she's willing, but she's not as like gung ho about it. She'll do it to make you happy, but she's not on your level of what you feel. And I understand where you might feel a certain way about it, but people handle it in all different ways. He handled it the exact wrong way.
Very, very wrong. But I mean, the correlation of why I read that out is like, to me, it was similar to whatever reasons he's giving as to why they're not together. It's not making sense. Nothing sounds tangible. He woke up one day and felt like, oh, I'm bored. But you're gonna do that to every woman you date because at some point they're gonna bore you. I don't know what these people think a long-term relationship is. Every day is not going to be skydiving and what else is he like? Burning Man. It's not going to be EDM every day. So
Swimming
you
with
have to be
sharks
okay in the
or whatever else.
silence.
Yeah.
Yeah, as in the EDM part. So I think he has a lot of work to do internally, but I don't know if he knows that.
Yeah, I
So
mean, listen, Josh, you're going to be that 50 to 55-year-old still walking around Burning Man, creeping out all the younger people because you're still trapped in your 28-year-old body, or
yeah.
your 28-year-old mind, I should say, and you're going to be that weird guy that everyone stays away from because you have no one and nothing because you decided that nothing is good enough.
Yeah. Yeah, Kevin asked Will. Will says he's not at liberty to speak. I'm like, why? Go away.
It
Don't make
sounds like you have
faces if you're not.
Yeah, and it's I'm not at liberty to speak on it. Like, so it sounds like you have something that you know that you should, because he's like, I talked to Josh,
It's
a
probably
lot,
a
and
lie.
I'm not at liberty to speak on those things. Like, so why did we ask you? Why is it still in the edit?
Yeah.
It was annoying because now I feel like there's something that he knows that he's not telling
Telling
anyone.
us. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like, why did that get included? I was so annoyed with that.
Yeah. Will tries to make it seem like Jalen did something wrong, saying she was always asking me if I was happy. Oh, okay. She was invested in you being happy. And it was like, I was until I wasn't. Okay. That's not deep.
Yeah,
So Jalen is like, we had issues, but he was always lying about little things like his assistant being 40 and not 20. That was funny a little bit because I'm like,
that was funny. Well, and then he goes, nope, nope,
that's not
that
true.
didn't happen. That happened. Like, so she's just making that up out of thin air. Like, I don't know.
But it goes back to something he said when you were in the pod the last time. Maybe we should have focused on his lying pattern instead of
Mhm.
community and all that because
Yeah.
that went under the rug way too fast.
Yep, for sure. It was a it shows a concerning issue that he's making these little white lies,
Yeah.
and it's not like it just continued to continue. It was never really addressed, and so yeah, Josh is trash. Like again, we
Yep.
were just we were all just like, I don't know, can't be can't be that good, and it's like, oh yeah, we're seeing now, and the mask fell all the way off. You know,
Yep.
after everything left.
As if that wasn't enough. Josh is like, yeah, I've been on a couple of dates. And Jalen was like, yeah, there's videos of him. He was all over a girl. I think she was implying that he has one girl that he's seeing. And then they show video receipts. I mean, they blurred out her face. And
Yeah.
everyone was like, he told them to lie about that. And I'm like, were we too soon to say there were no villains this season, Jason?
Um, and see, the problem is, I don't know how to feel about villains after the fact, right?
Mm,
Because now we're hearing all this stuff, but when the season ended, I wouldn't say they were villains, but now we're hearing there are at least two
yeah.
or three that we can add into the
Yeah.
pantheon of villainy. So yeah, I think we could say they were villains. Are they villains that are going to raise up real high into the MAFS Hall of Fame of villains? Probably not, because
Yeah.
there's some really bad people that done some really bad things during the season.
Yeah.
So I don't think any of that rise to the level of like a top five or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's definitely some that's going to go into the mix.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the Josh and the woman thing, I was like, I mean, yes, he moved on very fast, but what? As long as it's not while they were actually still together, I don't know why we're making such a big deal out of it.
Objection, my lord.
Go ahead, go ahead, go
When
ahead.
you move on that fast,
It means
usually there's an
you
overlap.
move on. Yeah, okay, I get that. I get
Usually
you.
there's an overlap. You
Yeah,
can't
you're
wake up and say, I'm bored. I don't like you anymore. You found a new shiny toy on the other side. That's what the
that.
problem is.
You know what? You could definitely be onto something because if he was getting into the new shiny object,
Mm-hmm.
well before whatever vacation they were on,
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm ready to jump from this old thing to the new thing
Yep.
full time. I've been part time with the new shiny thing. I'm ready to jump over pretty fast. So I could
Yep.
definitely, you get definitely have a point there where because he's so, it feels like he doesn't want to like be alone in his thoughts. It's like I
Yeah.
always, I always need to be somewhere doing something
Doing
because
something. Yep.
I cannot sit alone with my thoughts because
Yeah.
I don't know what his thoughts are, but he always needs a companion. And
Yeah.
he was just like, let me work on the transition from this to something else. And he was probably doing that before he really should have, which is a good point.
And then Kevin didn't even ask, does she like Burning Man? Come on.
Exactly,
Come on.
exactly. And like if we had another part, we could have got into the whole lie of it all. Of
You feel me, Jason? That's what I'm saying.
where does what is the social media stuff? Who is
Yes.
you? Why did you feel you had to stay following and talking to this person when you unasked made the promise to stop following them? What was that all about? The
Mm-hmm.
way they moved off that topic with experts, with everyone, is crazy.
Yep.
Uh, but yeah, so it just sounds like Josh is pretty shitty.
And most importantly, why you always lying? Why you always lie? Because well, you're grown. If you moved on, you moved on. Why are you telling people? Like, if you want to lie, fine. But to tell other people to say no, don't lie, and they were like, nope, and then they recorded the girl and then sent it to Jalen. Those
He's
are
like,
real
well,
ones.
well, well, well. See. Actually, I didn't tell them to lie to you. I just told them not to tell
Tell
you.
you.
It's like, so it's a live omission then. Okay. What do you like? What do you want? Like he thinks he's eating with all these. Like, oh, well, actually, he's like, no, you just make yourself look even worse, sir.
Yep. So yeah, they were living together for a year and 3 months. They were supposed to go to Burning Man again. They got a dog together. Jalen got custody of the dog, and she's obsessed with him. I think it was a him dog, but
Rocco, so I assume.
Rocco.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes. So, but my biggest takeaway from this is I want to give kudos to Belinda because Belinda let Jalen fight her battles, and that's very important to me. I think Jalen is not very good at that, and we're going to talk about it in their section. But it's like
Mhm.
just let at the end of the day, both adults, then just let her fight her battles. But Belinda's just like, hey, my baby girl got it, so I'm
Mhm.
just going to let her, take care of that. So,
Yeah, 100%.
all right, we'll take a quick break and talk about Belinda and Chad. All right, they're not married. I'll just go straight into that. They're not together. Shocker. Kevin asked what happened, and Belinda says that the intimacy level changed. She's not an initiator, but she's trying to say, if the dog is a problem, we don't have to have the dog in there. And then he
Mhm.
says he has sleeping issues, and he goes to bed at like 1:30. She says her biggest issue was the drinking. That pissed me off. Not that he was drinking, but the fact that there's a drinking issue. I don't think that it was mentioned in passing in one of the episodes, but it wasn't brought up as, hey, this is a big thing for me, kind of like Allie on Love is Blind. Like,
Yeah,
there's so many parallels,
so
So
many.
almost like the same production company.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I was just like, whoa. So this is a thing. I know she mentioned that he needed it to sleep, but I didn't know this was like an ongoing thing. And she was like, one time she woke up, he had a drink in his hand and he was sleeping. And I'm like, excuse me,
Ooh, that is quite a vivid, concerning picture. This man's like just drunk on the couch, like, and
Jason.
drinking all my troubles away, drinking all my ex marriages away, and drinking away my feelings about lovey, who I hate to see. But yeah, that's definitely concerning, and it's like how do you expect to be with a spouse, with a mate,
Yeah,
if you're doing all this. You're not going to bed. You're hanging out
yeah,
at all time. He's like, I don't sleep. I don't know what to tell you. It's like,
yeah.
but you're married though. Like you're in a new marriage where I think you would want some companionship, some intimacy. And it
Mm-hmm.
sounds like he was just like, I'm just gonna stay out here all night and do my own thing while you go and sit in the bed with Lovey. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, how do you expect to grow the relationship and the intimacy if you're not doing those things
Yeah,
at night, right?
yeah. Or daytime. But I think Kevin, my only gripe was like this couple for most of the season we were hearing, oh, it's fine. Oh, he's doing all these things. We're okay. So I was, hoping that Kevin would be like, when did you start being concerned? I know she mentioned what her concerns were, but the timing is still a question mark, I guess, for me, because by the couples retreat, which is 1 month in, they seemed fine.
Yeah,
So
it
it
was
just,
it was
yeah,
shortly after that where she would be like these little mentions of like, well,
yeah,
you don't come to bed with me, you go in the other room and drink,
yeah,
and so it was those little mentions that came out. But to hear her talk about it now, it was like
yeah. That's
this man
major.
is passed out drunk every night. So it's like, oh, and that's not something you really want to get into with, especially with a stranger.
Yeah.
Y'all stuck with this man that doesn't want to spend time with me at
Yeah.
night. He's doing his own thing. Like that's not what she wants. She wants
She
someone
wants, yeah,
to have companionship, to have like intimacy, even if it's not sex, just like
yeah,
someone to cuddle in bed with
wind
at
down with
night.
her. She was
Yeah,
very
exactly.
specific about that. And
Yeah.
it seemed like, again, and I said this before, if he was so uncomfortable in the apartment, why didn't they let him just go to his house? But I think because of the cat, now we know there was an anxious cat.
Yeah.
The way she said it, there was an anxious cat, which you guys never saw. And I'm like, okay, was in the house. So maybe he wouldn't
It's
get
like
along with Lovey. I'm not sure. But
that's like an anxious cat. So a cat? like like I feel like most cats are anxious. Like if you, even especially if you present a dog in the
yeah,
proceedings. I've had a cat, and from what Chad described, that scene was like, I'm not surprised
it's
that
a
like
regular.
a random ass dog walks in. Heck yeah, I'm gonna go run. I'm gonna run up to my owner, and be like, oh, save me from this freaking dog over here.
Yeah.
So wasn't that surprised? Like they made it seem like it was just this like huge like thing that this cat climbed on Pat and stuck his claws into his chest. Like I could probably show you 1,000 places on, on my person where I've had cat scratch that 10 years later are still there. Yeah.
The other part of it for me was when he says, "Oh, I'm human. I've been dealing with anxiety issues." I feel like now I'm like, what were we shown? Because now these are two things: the drinking and the anxiety issues. I don't think I knew that was a big thing for Chad up until like when Pia came and he was a little like you could tell that he was anxious, but I thought it was just a visit. I didn't necessarily think it was something he was struggling with. It wasn't something, and I maybe it's something he didn't want to talk about, but I think that's a huge chunk of their relationship. If we're dealing with, I can't sleep, I have to drink to sleep, I have
Mhm.
anxiety, I'm not winding down, that is a huge part
Honestly,
missing.
when he was talking about, he was in a tailspin, he was so
Yeah.
anxious, and Kevin goes, "Hey, we want to give you guys a little more information on what's going on here." So they cut to the clip. I thought they were going to cut to some clip where Chad was talking about he had like PTSD from his time in the
In
military.
combat.
I was like, does that have something to do with this? But then we go to this scene
Girl,
that they sent
5
us to.
days after decision, they were like, "We have footage that we are going to play out here," but also, how long did they film?
Well, here's the
Because
thing, right? Because in the last few seasons, we know that
there's
they film after decision day, so
mm-hmm,
they could milk this thing for all it's worth. That was
mm-hmm,
their 26th and 27th episode
yeah,
of each season was, hey, let's follow the gang after decision day, and they shot all this in the anticipation they're still going to be in Lifetime. They're like, we shot this damn footage, we're going to use it, god damn it! Like we're going to find some way to get in
yep,
here, and they got it into the reunion to show us like
where all
typical
the
Married at First Sight. We get a group meeting, which made me think like how many group meetings were just left on the cutting room floor
yeah.
of this whole season.
We've all had the same thought about Chad. We're just like, there's something about that man, Chad. We just didn't have any proof. And Peacock was like, here you are. Because
Here you go.
we see. So then we see Belinda tell them about the blow up as Chad is like, he tolerated the dog for 2 months. He's not going to play second fiddle to a fucking dog. I'm the alpha in my house. And then we get a 20 minutes later. I don't know what that meant. Maybe he was ranting the whole time. I don't know. But he's like, the dog is a trigger. And Jalen is like, it can't be the end all be all for you guys. And it's like, I'm not saying anything with the cameras rolling. And if that's where we're going, then y'all are going to be very disappointed. And Belinda's like, well, you said cameras and productions were a trigger. And now it's not that for your anxiety. I can see how he took this the wrong way, though.
Yeah, well, yeah. I was like, well, as he said, like it doesn't have to be just one thing to trigger anything. It
Yeah.
could be a multitude of things. And so I
Yeah.
can see where he would take that as kind of insensitive. And he's
Mhm.
like, well, I mean, I only one thing could be a trigger. And that's when Jalen kind of steps in. It's like, no, that's not what she's saying. That's not what she's saying. And it's just
Mhm.
like, okay, well, Jalen's getting involved now.
Yeah.
And that's the like the last of it where he kind of gets like real fed up and like
Yep.
goes
Yeah.
off.
And that's what I mean by, when Belinda let Jalen fight her battles. Like in this case, Jalen jumps in. And I think a trigger for Chad is younger people telling him or talking back at him.
Mhm.
He doesn't
Yep.
like that. He's
Yep.
the one who barks orders, guys. You know?
Yeah, and so like he goes, I'm not doing this anymore. He gets up and Jen's like, oh, of course. He goes, yeah, of course. Like he's like, fuck y'all, get this back off me. This is a goddamn ambush. And I don't know what triggered Jalen in that moment, but like Jalen was like crying into like her mother's arm. I was like, what? Oh,
Well, because you remember Belinda says they had blowups in the house and the children were witness to that. So I'm assuming it's just seeing something similar to that. And it's just like a
yeah.
trigger, for her and, all that stuff. And I just, the scary thing about when people behave like that in front of people publicly, it's almost like, what do you do when the camera is off?
That
When
was my
people are
same
not
thought.
around,
That was my same
you
thought. I was like,
know,
if you're willing to do this in front of everyone here, what
and
must
the
it be like
world.
if you
Yeah.
get upset when it's just you and in this case Belinda? I was
Yeah.
like, that's a little scary
Yep.
to think about. I'm sure that's part of what Belinda saw. That was just like, you know what? Let me get my stuff and get on
Yeah.
out of here
I'm not
because
going to
this
find out
is
anymore. This is
yeah, this
enough.
is too much.
Yep.
And we've heard all season about what Belinda went through and
Mm-hmm.
how that affects her in her relationships now. So listen, I don't blame her at all. We're like, I'm gonna get out while the getting is like not good. Whatever happened was explosive, was a lot of blow ups. Obviously, must have been something because Jalen reacted the way she acted. So I don't blame her at all for being like, yeah, I'm not going to see the end of this story. Let me just go out. Let me just leave now. So there's no repeat of what I went through already.
Yeah, and good on her because the rest of like we've seen other scenarios where they're like, "Oh, let's try, let's see what it is." Belinda's like, "I've seen enough. Like, I don't
Hmm.
need to try. We're not gonna have part two breakups. We're gonna just end
Right.
this
And
right
it's
now."
not, I wish we were like still in the apartment when this whole cat dog thing happened, so we could kind of
Hmm.
see what that was. Because this isn't like, hey, we keep having disagreements that are civil. I'll leave because that it seemed like whatever happened with the cat and the dog, the way he reacted
Yeah.
was explosive enough for her to be like, yeah, I've seen this before. Let me get myself and go.
Yeah, and I just realized we didn't mention for those who maybe are not watching and just listening. Chad brought his cat downstairs, and then Belinda had Lovey, her dog, and then the dog got spooked, climbed on Chad, and then the cat got nervous and then scratched him a little, and then he just started yelling and going ballistic that the dog was untrained, and she just froze and was just like, "What is this?" Grabbed all her stuff from the kitchen table, and then she left. So that's
Yeah,
you
it's
know
like, did
what
y'all not
happened.
see Married at First Sight, San Diego? This is not how you introduce pets, unless you want the eye of one of your pets to be chewed out. It's not how you do it. You gotta do this in a better way. I just like, hey, here's a new dog, here's a new cat, have fun. Uh,
Yep.
but yeah, it seemed like whatever happened there with the way, not even the way that the animal interaction went, but the way that
He's
Chad
treated.
reacted
And that
was
is
how,
always that's always
ugh.
been his problem, how he reacts to things. It's like some
Mhm.
things is like, okay, you're human, we get it, you're doing all that, but you would think he would learn. It's the fact that he keeps doing it over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, as much as you want people to learn and change, it takes a lot to change. So, I hope that people that see the way they act on TV, hopefully it gives them more reason to change. And I hope that some people on this program do that and be like, yeah, I actually did act really terribly there. Or are they deluded enough into themselves to be like, no, it's them. It's the way the cameras made me look. I'm all right. I'm fine.
Unless my theory actually is true, I have no facts. You know, the theory I shared on your Patreon that after a certain age, I don't know that people are changing to
Oh yeah,
me.
it's hard. It's really hard. I think you can change. I think it takes a lot more for you to change, right? Like
Hmm.
because things, behaviors, and thoughts are so ingrained that it takes a lot to reverse that programming.
Yeah.
It's possible, but it just takes a lot more work to do it.
Yeah.
It takes a lot more mindfulness to make
Intentional.
to make
Yeah.
those things happen. Yeah,
Hmm.
intentionality is really key there.
Yeah. So Kevin tells him, "Oh, do you want to address this?" And Chad says, "Thanks for bringing that up. And if you want to hear my side of the story, then shut up and let me tell my side of the story." I was
Now, see, we
gagged.
were we were thinking about this on our podcast. We were like,
Hmm.
so is that him talking to Kevin, or
It
is that
seemed
him talking about how he was feeling in the moment of that argument?
it seemed spliced, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm
It
like,
felt
why would they splice at a reunion?
because I think they wanted it to make it seem like he was talking to Kevin.
Oh,
But
that's next level.
I think in our veteran reality TV show watching
Yeah.
mind, we know there's like it seemed like he was like, well, in that moment I was thinking, shut up and let me tell my side of the story. But they cut out that in the moment I was thinking part. Because I think if that was him really talking to Kevin, we've seen Kevin uh correct some
Correct
people.
people. Yeah.
And he corrected Emily that one reunion was like, hey,
Yeah.
don't come bucking up at me. I think if he had said that directly to Kevin, Kevin would have something to say about that. So I don't think it was directly to Kevin saying that.
The flip side is also Kevin don't give a fuck. Like you can't rattle him. Like no, even if you say that to him, he's gonna be like, okay, and do you feel like a tough guy now that you told me to shut up? Like he doesn't
Yeah, but we
care.
would have got that. He
Yeah,
would have said that. And I feel like
yeah,
that would have been on the show. So I don't feel like he was saying that directly to Kevin. By the way, you mentioned it earlier. I'm so happy that they kept Kevin on
yeah.
and he's
Mm-hmm.
still here
Mm-hmm.
because they could have. This was shot November 2nd,
Yeah,
which is like was like really really recent.
yeah.
So I'm so happy they decided to stick with Kevin. I mentioned on our show, I was like, hey, what if they had Kevin and Rudy, aka Keisha Knight Pulliam, co-host together? Asia was like, no, Kevin wouldn't go for that. Like,
Nope.
I don't think Kevin's doing that.
Yeah.
But I want Rudy back in our lives in some way. But I guess that's too much to
How about
ask.
as an expert?
I go for that. I will go for that 100%.
I do you think all experts? I mean, I don't think we think all experts are coming back, but do you think they'll change all of them?
I don't know. We I have posited on the podcast, like, is the reason that Dr. Pepper wasn't included is because she's not going to be carried over to season 20? Is it going to be just Cal and Pia? Is it going to be Cal, Pia, and someone else? I do think both Cal and Pia will make it over to the season 20. I'm not sure about Dr. Pepper because we did get because people have been wondering all season, like, why isn't Dr. Pepper showing up? Why isn't Dr. Pepper here? She shot expert visits. She was there. She was counseling couples. It just did not make it into the edit.
Okay.
So I don't know. It
Yeah.
seems it could be a quiet way of escorting Dr. Pepper off of the show for season 20. So I don't know.
I think the one person I'm sure is coming back is Pastor Cal.
Yeah, I think Pastor Cal is as synonymous with this show as you can get at this point.
Yeah.
He is kind of, I mean, listen, he feels like the head expert now. He feels like he's kind of usurped
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper. And from talking to him personally myself
Hmm.
and from what other cast members have said, he is such like a personable like person. He's really good at like getting people to open up and talk.
Yeah.
So I think I would if I was to pass anyone through to the next round, it would be Dr. Cal. It would be Pastor Cal for me.
If they're going to have more couples, then they should just have more experts. So if we're going to up it to 4, I'm fine with that. And if we can start having resident experts, someone that's going to stay in the apartments too, so that it's on call and no one has to like fly or anything, I think that's a good change that they need more experts on call
They need
and not a
experts at
phone call in person.
Yeah, they need experts at every step of the way. They need
Yeah.
experts at the weddings. They need them at the honeymoons. They need them. They need to, use experts a lot more.
Yeah. Okay. At this point, I chuckled because his title plate comes up and it says Belinda's ex-husband, and I was like, "Oh, have the times have changed."
Nice.
He Chad says it was a combination of a long, crazy time. It's embarrassing to see yourself that way, and he judged himself harder than anybody on TV. At this time where I'm thinking he did say to shut up, I was like, well, that's why you just told Kevin to shut up a few minutes ago. But no. But Megan stood up for her friend and is like, as someone who's acted off the cusp, this is not him. Will stands up for him, says you are not your worst moment. And actually, all of them do. Pat's like, he has a heart of gold. And basically, Chad is a great guy. Yay.
All his boys and Megan, who may or may not be his employee now, are like, yeah, Chad, you're not bad. See you at work tomorrow morning, bud.
Oh, I think people always forget that you may know someone in one way, but you don't know them in a romantic relationship. But the thing is, what he did was not even in the relationship, it was to everybody. So, guys, okay.
Yeah.
Kevin asked him, honestly, a good question. Why did you do the show?
That's what we've all been wondering. We're like, why did you choose to show up here knowing that and my thing has always been, I just don't think Chad realized
How
the
much?
level of what the level of production is and how it will affect his life. I think we joked on the podcast like he thought he was going to show up here, get his wife, and peace out. Like, all right, y'all, thanks so much for matching us up, and we're gonna have a nice life now. See y'all later. It was like, no, Chad, you're gonna have to stay here for another 2 months and be, uh, photographed by us for the next 2 months. Like, what? What do you mean?
I mean, I hear you, but I do feel like we're in an age where we know we know all the scrutiny and all the thing that comes with it. As a person with anxiety, why would
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to subject myself to
Right.
all of that. Like, even if he didn't know what the schedule was going to be like, he had to have an idea what
Yeah, but I
being on a
mean,
reality show would do to you.
but we know as, vets of the reality TV show game, we
Oh,
watch these things all the time. I would be surprised if Chad, I don't think Chad's out here watching Love is Blind. I don't think Chad's out here on social media hearing about all the behind the scenes tea. I don't think he realized like what he was getting himself into when he agreed to this.
okay. I mean, I just feel like everywhere you turn around, people are saying reality show. It's so manipulative. It's everywhere. But
But
hey,
that's because
okay.
we're in the world. That's because we're in the world. I
All
don't
right.
think Chad's in the same worlds we are. I think Chad is like, if Chad's watching reality TV, it's like, ice road truckers or pawn
How
stars.
dare you, Jason? You don't know this man.
I mean, I just think that's what his level is of like reality TV showness. I just don't think he was hip
The
to the world that
world of
he was
that.
entering. Yeah,
Okay, well, he did say that. He's like, I did this show because nothing else had worked, and this show just got overwhelming. Belinda is, I don't think she was phased by all the people standing up for him. And she's like, well, it was a turnoff when people treat other people that way, and it was a trigger. I could see the producers walking on eggshells, and he was trying to manipulate her about them and the way that he treated them. She felt like he would treat her one day, and he did. So, y'all tell each other that he has a heart of gold, but that's my truth. Okay.
I said, good on you, Belinda. You're the most sensible one of the bunch. Obviously, she's able to number one see what was coming,
Yeah.
unlike a lot of the other ladies on the
Mm-hmm.
stage. And number two, she was smart enough to get out when it was not
Yep.
bad.
Right on
You know,
time.
she got out the first sign of trouble, and I applaud her for that so much.
With age comes wisdom sometimes. Um, Kevin brings up the Josh text because that's what I want to know. Because a little part of me has been wondering, like, since we know, like, Josh lies, like, did he really tell Chad something? But I don't know if there's bro code or something. Chad is like, oh, I don't remember. It's been so long ago. And I'm like, huh? And Josh is like, I don't remember that. I don't remember telling
Mm.
him anything. Like, he never had issues with production doing that. And Jalen is like, yeah, that's my experience too. So I guess that's
Chad's
it.
like, Chad's like, thanks a lot, Josh. Just threw me under the bus.
Yeah, Chad says he's terribly sorry that he hurt people and Belinda deserves to be happy. And Belinda says she happened to meet someone, she's dating someone, Jalen likes him. And again, the experts could have done better. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm glad that she got out when she did, and
Yeah.
I'm glad she's with someone now that apparently, for all we're hearing, is a good guy. So I think it's a
Yeah.
happier ending for Belinda
Yeah.
than most on the stage. I think.
Who are the most? Well, we got some unseen clips, which is nice. They just put fun clips of the things that they had and they had fun. So it's good to see that they had fun together. And now we get to Will and Brittany. They're not together. And I'm like, you know what? I like having closure. I've been up, down, down, up. What's going on?
They
They
are.
say they haven't spoken to each other, but it feels like
Uh,
now I've seen some pictures online, and Pat is
yeah.
like, they're building a friendship.
Hmm.
And I'm like, is there a chance that maybe the door isn't closed with them?
All I gotta say is, Will, if that is something Will's doing, it's kind of crappy because do not give her hope that this is something that could be happening again. And I hope that if Brittany is as healed as she says she is toward the
Yes.
end, that she is able to hang out with him as a friend and not see it as anything else. Because I think if something else is happening, it's because Will is maybe unknowingly leading her on. Like maybe Will thinks they could just be friends with the benefits,
Mm-hmm.
but I think if he tries that, Brittany's gonna be like, "Oh, we're back together now. We're getting second married again, right?" And I think Will's gonna have to again break it off with her
In
in a
the
not so
cold.
nice way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why people are friends with exes. I don't believe in that. It's a recipe for
I mean,
disaster.
it's been a year and a half. I think, but it's such an intense thing. This is. I don't know if you can do that. Um,
It's unique
it's
because of the
messy.
experience they had. I get
Yeah,
it. But it's also like because of the experience they had, it's also so much more intense that it just seems safer
to
to
just
be
cut
apart
ties.
and
Yeah,
just yeah, and just
100%.
let it be no bad intention, just keeping safe. But like I said, they're not together. They haven't spoken in a year and a half. He left after decision day. He was gone for a week. Like he traveled for work. He was gone for a week. And he said things didn't sit right with him. And when he came back, he ended it. But this is what happens when, I don't know if this is a strong word, when people are coerced into saying yes on decision day. Because
Yeah,
I feel like that's what happened to Belinda and Chad. Like if you go on your knees and you put some, it's like being proposed to in public and you're like, I don't want to say yes, but I'm not going to embarrass this man. That happened. And then Will came in ready to say no. And then he left with a yes. And this man was tortured with his thoughts.
yeah, and also, we're questioning why certain people were picked for the show. If Will is someone that had to constantly keep traveling for work, why was he picked for the show? Because I feel like it's got to affect
Yeah.
relationship here if you're constantly going in and out of this bubble that you're in, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure leaving this experiment bubble does mess with your mind in certain ways when you're gone for a week from this person you just married at first sight. It can't be. I'm sure it's not a positive thing for a relationship. So why would he be picked if this was something that was going to have to happen with his work schedule?
It's the same reason. I mean, they got David last season who was not supposed to be around, or Rhonda who could not be in the apartment. There's so many questions that we have that I don't know if it would have been answered in a matchmaking special, or they were just going to skip past it, because those are the questions I have too. What makes this person a good candidate for this? Kevin says, "Why didn't you say no?" In my head, I'm like, "Cause they badgered him to say yes." But he says he adores her and didn't want to see her sad, and it was worse saying no. Oh, I thought that was a worse answer.
Yeah, he basically like, I'm just gonna say yes to get out of this moment right now, and then off camera, not in front of experts. I'll break it off then. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know what he was trying to convey, but it's like, so you just said yes to get out of there and not
yeah.
like get into some big emotional thing in the moment. Oh,
Yeah, it was just not. So Kevin asked Brittany, like, "Do you wish he would have said no on decision day?" And she's like, "Well, I had an inkling it was going to happen. I was prepared for a conversation, but the way it happened threw me off." And she didn't really answer the question, but then they went to the breakup, and he was overly rude, he was stern, he was cold. And then we have unseen footage a week after decision day, and it's a security cam of them in the apartment, and I'm like, how long did they stay in the apartments?
yeah, that was my thing. Like, why are y'all still in a neutral apartment? Like,
Like,
that was weird to me. You're on the process of moving. The production have like, well, we've got it through the other month, so you don't have to, like, you can take your time
yeah.
leaving. We'll still have the cameras on, but hey, but this was so hard to watch
Yes.
because she's like begging him. And you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Michaela and Zach
Oh.
when he was trying to leave the retreat and she was trying
She's
to
like,
keep him in there. It was not as bad because she was not holding Will prisoner like Michaela was
yeah.
trying to do to Zach. But it was just like, please, can you stay? Like, just tell me you love me. He's like, that's not going to help us right now. It's not going to do anything. Like the way he was, just so like kind of cold and disconnected from it.
Yeah.
And what he says later is like, yeah, I needed to be cold and
Cold.
stern and rude to get the point across that we are over. But I'm like, that, because he said, yeah, anytime I've been soft with her, though, it gave her the wrong impression. People have told me, like, but there is a balance there.
There's a middle.
Yeah, there's a middle. You don't have to be a dick while you're breaking up with someone to convey the message that this is over.
This is terrible for Britney, but I am glad that we had footage of this, because if they had said it, honestly, I don't think I would have grasped how they were literally having a conversation and he blurted it out. He was like, "Yeah, I don't want to
Yeah.
be married to you anymore." And she's like, "Wait, you don't want to be with her anymore?" And he's like, "Yes." And the next thing we see is his bags. And she's like, "Jason said, please tell me." And he's like, "No, that's not going to help anything right now. I don't want to talk to you." It was so cold. And
Yes.
I wouldn't even have been able to fathom it if I didn't see that with my own eyes. So she's like, "We're not done talking." And he says, "I'm done talking." I'm like, this is bad.
It's terrible.
This is
I
bad.
couldn't even I can't even imagine being in that situation where one of my most like heart crushing vulnerable
Vulnerable.
moments,
Mm.
we're all just in a room watching it. And I like I would wither and just try. I would just want to be like transported away in that moment. Just, hey,
Yeah.
let's watch one of my most heartbreaking moments on TV right now. Oh, wasn't
Yeah.
that great? Wasn't that great for everyone to watch me get my heart ripped out and smashed on the ground? Wasn't that fun?
Oh, and for someone so sensitive too. I don't Brittany reminded me of Amber from season 9 a lot.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, so painful to watch. But they have a pool party, which is again unseen footage, I guess.
Mhm.
And Will just comes in dressed differently from everyone. He looked really dressed to go for an indoor house party while everyone's by the pool.
Yeah.
And they're like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "I'm moving on with my life." And Brittany has that look in her eyes when it almost feels like she's disassociating and she's so sad. And Will says, "Well, no matter what I did, it wasn't good enough. I just wanted to stop." And she's like, "I never said that." Like, it was more like if she was good enough for him. I'm like, "No, don't say it. Don't say that." And then she does that thing, whenever she's talking and she's tired of it, she's like, "This is stupid." She says that all the time. Like, "This is
Hmm.
so stupid." And Will is like, I don't take pride in being mean, but I had to be succinct because he was told, that he had to be softer. So she said she wanted to keep fighting for it. And we're all like,
and,
why?
and boy did she.
Why? He did say that she reached out to him. Some rude things were said, but we did not dive into that. We just moved it
Hmm.
along. And then he blocked her and said bye. I'm like, geez, Will, it's been a year and a half. Be kind.
Yeah, I think. I mean, that's just him, right? He has
Yeah.
to be blunt and just say what happened. But I can only imagine like what some of these things were that she said to him or what was said, and it's really tough because we've seen this archetype several
Yeah.
times. Right at first sight, this woman that just it's not for her, but she doesn't want to accept that it's not for her, and
Yeah.
she keeps trying and trying and trying, and it's running up against this brick wall. And we all want her to stop smashing her head into the wall, but she just won't
Hmm.
stop. It's like, girl,
Yeah.
just stop. You're hurting
Stand
yourself.
up.
She's like, I don't care. I don't care. Just banging her head against the wall. We hear she wrote him a letter that he didn't read. And she's like, Kevin's like, did you read the letter? He's like, nope. I'm like, oh, that's just like a dagger to the heart. I'm like, you didn't even take the time to read this letter that I wrote to you. That's how much you don't care about me at all. Ugh,
Mm, And the way Will delivers stuff is so painful. It makes it 10
yeah.
times more painful
Yes.
than it is. But when he asked her, is there anything she wants to say to him? I'm so glad she said no at first. I'm so glad that was what she said first. But the other thing, again, that I wish Kevin had asked, he said something about her always being in the building. And she's like, not for you. I came to see Jalen. How is Jalen living in Will's building? I
Where did
need
that
to
come
know the
from?
details.
And do we believe that? Is my question. Like,
Yes, I
I
did.
mean, we believe I believe that Jalen and Will live in the same apartment complex, possibly. But
Oh, that
was
she
she only there for Jalen?
she was there for okay, girl had. She was there for Jalen, but every time she went there, she wore her best outfits and then be like, is that Will? Is that Will?
Like,
Is his car
let me
over
just
there?
walk
Is
by
he there?
his apartment. Like, I don't have to walk by Will's apartment to get to Jalen's, but let me just take the long way around that goes past Will's apartment to see maybe if I can catch him. I don't know. Because the way she answered that, I was like, oh, I was there to see Jalen, and then Jalen was just like, like she didn't say nothing. I was like, I don't know. Because the way he said that, when he said, "Yeah, note was left on my door that you've been to my apartment several times,"
Yeah.
that don't mean they saw her walking around the complex. That means they saw her looking at his windows or trying to look through his peephole, see if he's in the house. Like, that's what that means to me. If someone's writing you a note on your door, you're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I saw some lady sniffing around your door." That's what that means to me. Like, watch your back. There's someone stalking you. That's what that means to me. It doesn't mean like, hey, there's some other woman like walking around this apartment complex. No, that means they've been staking out your apartment for a minute. You
Yep.
might want to be on the lookout. That's what that means to me.
And also, there were no other apartments, Jalen. I want the answers. So,
I mean, who knows who came first or if they were, they so happened to live in the same complex. I don't know.
huh.
But it was weird to me. I was like, the way she answered it was like, oh no, no, no. I was just visiting Jalen. Yeah, Jalen, you live there, right? You live in this
That's
apartment
my
complex,
alibi.
right? Yeah, yeah. Back me up, girl. Girl code.
So he says he wants to apologize for not being present and doing a better job of how to hear her. He says he can be too literal. Thank you for the journey. And then she says, oh, I appreciate that. And then she wants to clarify that he's not a bad person. She never questioned that he loved her.
That's a lie. The
And
lie detector
she,
test determined that was a lie.
yep. And she just wanted to dig for more. It was all a breakdown in communication. She says the Brittany that she is today. Oh, Kevin asked her, "Would you do MAFS again?" I don't know why he asked that, and I was like, "Is this a hint?" But she
Mm,
says the Brittany that she is today, she would do.
mm. Put her on the board for second, married for sight, second chances.
That was
Now,
surprising.
people have been scoping out the preview trailer.
Yeah,
And people
it's
are like, oh, I think Brittany's in the trailer. I think Jalen's in the trailer because there's another
yeah.
small brunette person with eyebrows. I'm like,
Oh my
no,
god,
y'all, that's crazy.
she
First of
moved to
all,
Seattle.
yeah, they both moved to happened to move to Seattle. at the same time, and Jalen just broke up with Josh 3 months ago. Probably around the time we
Yeah.
started filming this thing. So I think people are seeing what they want to see in those moments. I'm like, oh, it's Jalen, it's Jalen. Jalen's the next season. He's like, well, that's impossible, first of all. So get that out of your minds. But yeah, it does definitely feel like Brittany's like, yeah, sign me up for Married at First Sight, second chances. And I do think they should do that at some point.
I think like people who fail at math should be graduated to Love is Blind. That's just my take. Like then you
Mm,
have a hand in picking whoever it is. You've gone through it before. You kind of have something, except it's in your hands this
yeah.
time.
Okay.
If they
I
come
can see
around
that.
your city again, which they do most of the time.
I just think this time, maybe we don't do the whole like scientific thing. We say, okay, we have Brittany. Let's find us someone for Brittany. Because if it feels like Mary Versailles is like, we got 10 women, we got 10 men. Let's see who we can jam together and make it make sense. I think now if you take like, and they even have to live in the same city if the second chances thing. Let's take 5 people that we think all should get second chances, and we find the right person for that one person. We focus and target on that one person, not just like random people, but we cater it to this person.
I think that would be great if it was still on Lifetime. But for the fact that Peacock is still trying to find its footing and trying to figure out what they want this show to be, it'll be a while before we get spin-offs. So I really wish it would be possible. But if we're on Lifetime, remember when we had all those many thousand spin-offs of MAFS?
Yeah, I'm old enough to remember Unmatchables.
Oh, that's so insulting, but that was a show.
That was a thing. That was
It
a
was
thing.
a thing.
Before Dr. Pepper was not on this season of Married at First Sight, she was not on Unmatchables. She was like, I'm not participating in that nonsense and bullshit. Cal and Viviana, that's your guys' thing. You take that.
So she says that she's a lot more calm and less reactionary. So that was it for Will and Brittany. I don't know what I was expecting, but I felt like, oh, okay, I guess that's it. Everyone was so graceful. No one
Yeah,
was like petty.
well, it's been a year and a half, right? Like, I feel like
Yeah.
things have definitely simmered down for most of these people. I think, Jalen and Josh are obviously the most, like, raw thing because it just happened 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
think they definitely have a reason to be a little more, like, in their feelings about it. But I feel like everyone else is mostly, it's been a while since they've been together. So it's like, it's kind of water on the bridge, which I think is kind of a indictment of why does it take so long to
Mm-hmm.
get these things in the can, edit them, and then we're on a reunion a year and a half later
Yeah.
when some people don't even care about it anymore, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I do like the time period. It's a lot for things to happen. Imagine if they had filmed it like way back then. Jalen and Josh would still be together. Pat and Rhonda, who were the next
Mm-hmm.
couple, they were married. They were together for 9 months, so they still would have been together by the reunion. So,
It's true.
but yeah, getting into Rhonda and Pat, he went to Europe on a month on his own. He came back. Rhonda was like, this is the man I asked for. He was a great listener. She was on cloud nine, the best they've ever been. But she didn't realize that she was on an island by herself because one morning he was listening to a meditation about anger. Oh. And she asked him, are you angry, Pat? And he says, yes, I am. And she says, let me guess. Is it because we haven't had sex the last 10 days? And he says, yes. And I burst out laughing so
bruh
hard.
bruh Pat is a freaking horn dog, man. Because in the first part of this, we heard like, I wouldn't get no sex in my 30-year marriage, or I'll piece the fuck out. He's like, and now I get back with this kooky lady, and she's not only telling me that I'm not listening to her, but she also not giving me none. So I'm out.
I
Damn.
was like, wow, just like that. Let's not act like that is not the reason. It's other things, and this is just where you're going to stake your claim that.
Right. He's like, I can be scolded, I can be yelled at. That's all good, fine and good. I don't mind that. But if I ain't getting none, that's where I draw the line.
Point where you're listening to meditation tapes about anger.
Bruh.
Come on now.
All of it, like, it wasn't even like because you speak to me in a
In a
scolding,
condescending
childish
way.
manner. Like, no, because you haven't had sex with me in the last 10 days. And Pat's not, he's not denying it. He's not like, oh no, that's not. He's like, yep,
Yep.
you damn Skippy.
And then again, Did they all go to some seminar? Because Bizarro, they met for dinner. In the first 2 minutes, he's like, I'm done. I'm like,
Tell
what?
you, it's contagious. It's catching.
Oh, man.
Will's like, yep, good job, guys. Like Will's like their relationship coaches or something. Like, you just gotta cut it, man. You just gotta cut it. Like one fell swoop, just like we're done and be over. But yeah, like she tells the story. Like we went to dinner and he was just like, yeah, it's over. We're done. I'm like you don't want to work. You just don't want to work at it at all. You don't want to like try. But I mean, it feels like
It
they
was
probably
almost
did
over.
try a little bit.
Yeah, 9 months is commendable for them. We didn't think
Yeah,
they were going to say yes. So the fact
yeah.
that they did it to 9 months is commendable. But we also have been saying that he's going to snap. He just happened to snap over dinner. I don't know. Maybe the fish wasn't cooked right. And he was just like, today was a day, and today is, I'm not going to start my day tomorrow this way.
He said something and she had to correct him. He's like, put his silverware down, like, you
I'm
know what?
done.
I think this is over. You not only speak to me like a child, but you also won't give me any. So why am I even here? What is the point? But then it'd be like he went to Europe for a month. I was like,
To
wow,
do what?
that is something, especially in a new-ish marriage. You're like just piecing out for a month away from your wife.
But that's the other thing. You went to Europe for a month, right? I'm assuming you didn't sleep with someone else. So you were fine for like a month, right? And then you came back. So is it because you came back and you immediately wanted some, or is it the 1 month and 10 days that pushed him over
I don't
immediately?
know. Again, we just did not have enough information. It's like, wait, what? Like, Pat, can you expound on this? He didn't really talk
Did
more about it.
yeah.
He
Did
said more of his like self help guru bullshit of like, I had to tell myself that I love myself and this and that. Like, what? What are you talking about?
also did he express it to her like, "Hey, I'm in the mood for," and she rejected him? That's there are many steps. Like what?
Well, and for her to like to come back at it and be like, yeah, he was had his shoulders slumped, he was whining.
Now that was
I want a real man who's gonna tell me what he needs.
uh,
Like, I mean, he kind of did,
I was
Rhonda, but you
cringing.
shut him down every time he tried to tell you what he needed. Rhonda's interesting because I don't think she said this throughout the season, but we get this a lot in Masters. Like, I need someone to put me in my place.
Mm,
Like, and like when he would try to do that, you weren't receptive to it. So
yeah.
it feels like she says she wants one thing and then does another. Like she wants someone that's going to stand up for himself, but every time he would try to do that and say what the problem was, she would correct him, scold him, and make him feel like lesser of a man. So I'm sure in that way she emasculated him, and he wasn't feeling his alpha self.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, does Rhonda need Chad? Is that
And
what's like?
that's what everyone is saying, that they need to switch, but no, I think it will be a disaster. They don't need
Yeah,
to. She needs someone like Pat. She just doesn't recognize that that's the kind of person that she needs. Is that what he needs? Probably not, but the whole conversation was so cringy because she was just like, he's insecure. It was a turnoff the way he flip flopped on decision day. I need someone that's gonna be a man, and he has the hunched shoulders, and he was whining, and I'm like, that's a lot of negative words when
like
you're
what did
talking
you
to
like
a
about this
grown
man?
man.
But like, what did you like about him to like even want
Oh,
to say yes on decision day? She's like, and she said something like, "I wanted to commit to a year."
yep.
Like, if you were so didn't like this man, you have so many negative things to say about him. What did you like about him? I'm having a hard time figuring that part out.
The way she said I wanted to commit to a year, she could have just said, it sounded to me like I was willing to tolerate him for a year.
Yeah,
The tone in which she said that, because she's like, I mean, I wanted to see what it would be like off camera, and then intimacy to me is more than just sex. But he said, and you're kind of outing what he said in private, he doesn't feel worthy or loved if he's not having sex. I'm like, huh?
yeah. She did say something like he did this to get a seemingly to get a physical intimacy and then have a connection afterwards. I
Yeah.
wanted a connection first, and then a physical intimacy would come later. I can definitely see
Mhm.
that from her point of view, where like I think she's right in that thing, what she's saying, because it does seem like Pat is very stuck on like sex.
I understand that, but do you think they had a connection? They had sex immediately, right? They were the ones who had
Yeah,
sex on the first night. There was no connection. It was just.
I think she probably she felt a connection or wanted herself to feel a connection, so she
Okay.
convinced herself she did feel a connection, then
Okay.
had sex. She would have been fine, probably not having sex, but I'm sure Pat
Pat was like
expressed his
poking
desire.
her in the middle of the
Yeah,
night.
yeah, exactly. You know what
Like,
I'm saying?
do you
Like,
feel that connection?
you're right. You know what I mean? So, Pat was getting red in the cheeks, if you know what I mean. Like, he was down to smash, and she was just like, okay, like,
Sure, why
sure,
not?
I like you enough,
You
but
jumped in a pool with me.
yeah, yeah, right. Like, sex isn't the end all be all for her, where it seems like it really is for Pat. So, I'm sure he was definitely into it when she was down night one. So
Yeah,
that led to them like having a really good time until she started scolding him. And now, if she's not giving it up, he's not for it. So,
that's
boy,
crazy.
like this
Even
man
at
has to have like
57. Mm.
this man's got to have like empty bottles of Cialis or Viagra just all over his apartment. He's kind of like Gino from 90 Day Fiance. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
that was a tough ending to them because it just seemed like Pat was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. She scolded me and that was annoying, but she wasn't trying to give it up, so I was out. It's like, okay, it just boiled down to that for you, Pat, huh?
40 days and 40 nights. He
Bruh.
didn't get nothing. So that was it. So he says the way he received it was that she lost respect for him and she wasn't attracted to him. And right after that, the switch flipped. And I mean, that's it.
I get that from her point. Rhonda seems like a very like no bullshit, like
Mm-hmm.
straight to the point. And Pat's very seemingly very like enlightened, where he's like he's in touch with his feelings and emotions and all this stuff. And it doesn't seem like what Rhonda's bag is about. She's like, you you talking about all this feelings and emotions crap, like that doesn't do much for me. It doesn't get my engine revved. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, they ended with Pat saying he puts other people before him to his detriment and he was putting in effort. It wasn't being received. And what Rhonda learned is that she was trying to control the situation instead of letting it flow and learning to surrender. So, my question for you, Jason, is would you want to see older couples again?
Yeah, yeah. I don't think this is an indictment on older couples making this work in the future. I think it could work. I just think they picked the wrong ones, right? I mean, it's like this isn't. It's not as if we have all the younger people that are just these success stories, and that we have
Yeah.
older people that aren't. I just think it's about the people that you pick and whether or not they are down for the cause or not. We had all four older people that were in previous marriages before, have all
Hmm.
been through divorce. I would be interested to see what it would be like for older people that have never been married and to see what it would be like for them, because it does kind of feel like if you've been married before, you're not that against divorce. You're like I've been divorced already. What's another one? Like, you know what I mean? What's another one on the pile? Especially for someone like Chad, who's just like, I've done this 3 other times. It's fine to do it again. But I would be interested to see like what it is with people that have never been married before.
I do think the big thing for me also is if they have older couples, let them stay in their own house. But then it's like, I don't know if the other person will be willing to do that. Whose house are they going to be in? Because it seems to be a big deal. It seemed like it was a big deal with Rhonda. They just didn't make it a storyline per se, because till today, I still don't know if Pat slept in the house or he went back to the apartment. I don't know
Yeah,
where he
I don't
spends his
know.
nights. And
Either that or just like put your foot down, production. Be like, no, y'all stay in the apartment. You're not
yeah,
going to your other house. We have camera setups here. We have all of our production here in the apartment complex. You're going to stay here so that you know,
yeah,
for lack of a better term, we can watch you.
yeah. And Chad was uncomfortable and also make them attend the couple's retreat, please.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So okay, our final couple, Megan and Derek. Before Kevin could even speak, Megan starts crying and she mentions that she had a miscarriage. And the sad part about it, like the episode prior, Aiden and I were discussing it, and we were actually saying like, oh, it seemed a little too soon, and we weren't sure, but it's on TV. And unfortunately, she did lose the baby. And Derek says it was very rough and he wouldn't wish that on anyone. It was very terrible seeing what she went through. But once they had the miscarriage, they started clashing. So I guess all the things they had buried under for the sake of the baby, but they went to couples therapy. But then they had a bad fight. And while fighting, whatever all these men had, whatever voodoo was
Derek
done
caught
on them,
Derek caught the virus.
his came up and he's like, love you anymore. And
Ugh.
he broke up with her over the phone. And then
Oof.
he just moved out a week later.
Oh man.
What makes this worse is what they went through, I guess.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't, you have to treat her with kid gloves because you both just lost a child. Like,
Yeah.
why do you think you
It's
can be cold too? Nobody deserves to be cold, but in this case, there's a lot of emotions here, you know?
yeah. You went through this traumatic experience. You know, the loss. That loss is heartbreaking,
Mm-hmm.
and for him to be so cold, seemingly in that moment, and even in here as well, it felt
Yeah.
like he felt detached
It
from it.
was
He
double
felt
downing. Yeah.
he felt cold. So it's like especially when she's over here on the other couch crying, and he seemingly has like no empathy
None.
towards her at all. He was like he had no emotion in his face. It was like ugh, it was kind of unsettling in a way. He was to talk so matter of factly
So
about
matter of
it.
fact, yeah.
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
that's what threw me off for
Yeah.
sure. Um, and for him to like then be like, yeah, neither of us were happy, which seemingly
Don't,
Megan did not agree. She was just
yeah,
like,
don't speak for
what do
her.
you, she's like, what do you mean we weren't happy? Like I was happy. You are now saying you weren't when that's not what you were saying in the time that we saw on camera. Whatever happened after that is what happened. But for him to say they were never happy is like, what do you like? He's rewriting history. It seems like because if
Yeah.
you were unhappy, you didn't tell us, the audience.
Yeah, and then just the way he was so harsh is like to say, I knew she wasn't the right person for me. It's worse, my dude, because you said I love you, you made plans with her, you said yes on decision day. Nobody forced you to do this, but then to say you knew the whole time and you did this,
Yeah,
that's terrible. Double
terrible,
terrible to do that.
terrible, terrible.
So it was sad because she's crying this whole time and she also says like, until she watched the show, she did not remember any good thing about the times that they
Yeah,
had.
yeah. I don't know if that's like a coping mechanism that she was using to like be okay with everything, to like tell herself like, oh, it was a terrible relationship. It was never good. And then to see all the good moments they had, it was like
Yeah.
all came rushing back to her
Yeah.
and like kind of broke her heart again.
Yeah.
Has to be just terrible to experience and witness, especially like especially if you've gone through this tragedy of losing your child, and
Yeah.
then to watch you on TV discover you're pregnant and how happy you were in that moment. Ugh, I can't even imagine.
And then the time span. This was like so long ago and it's like come back up all over again. So, but like I said, these people are classy. She's like, I don't think you're a terrible person, but you just didn't handle it well. I'm like, now is your chance to be petty.
Well, listen, she was
Well,
emotional, but not too
well,
emotional, not too messy as well.
yes, she was.
Because Derek's like, oh, I'm in a great relationship of 7 months, and I really wanted to choke slam him when he's
Yes.
like, oh yeah, she really wants to be a mother. Like,
Mm.
you dare say
That was
this
gross. That was
in front
gross.
of Megan, who, with you saying that, it makes it imply that she didn't want to be a mother when she
Yeah.
told you she did. She was going to be a mother of your child, and then to throw it in her face like that, you're like, oh yeah, she wants to be a mom. Unlike this, you know, un unemotional shrew over here is what it was like. It was
Yeah.
sounding to me. Like it was how it was hitting me. It was like, ugh, you're gross. And so then Megan goes, oh. 7 months you've been with your girlfriend, huh? Yeah, that's weird. I saw you on Riot 2 months ago. So, and then Kevin's like, I mean, you're not Riot anymore. Are you Derek? Derek's like, no, not Riot
Not
anymore.
anymore.
Not anymore. It's like,
Not anymore. But how does Derek qualify for Raya? What do you have to show? I was on a show. It's not
according
out
to
yet, but here.
according to Asia Wealth, who knows all things dating and social media,
Uh-huh.
she said apparently it's not that hard to get into. If you can get like a recommendation from someone, you can just like slide on in. So I don't know who he would know that would be on Raya, but I
I
guess
thought he just showed that he was on the show. It's not airing yet, but
maybe I
hey,
don't know.
I
I
was
don't
on
know
the
for
show.
sure. Uh, so relationship 7 months, 2 months, huh? The math's not mathing, Derek. You want to explain that? But he's just kind of like, no, I'm not right anymore. Not right anymore.
Oh, that was the face of a man who knew that he was in trouble when he got
Uh
home.
huh. Oh yeah.
And and Megan did the same thing. And we saw glimpses. Remember when he was like, I'm gonna get a mullet? And she's like, that's cool. I'm just not gonna. I'm gonna stop waxing. She
Yeah,
just doesn't. She's quick.
she's quick. She's quick on the pull.
I did like that when Kevin asked if she would have said yes on decision day if she wasn't pregnant. I like that she did say, I don't know. You know, and it's easy to be like, oh, of course not. Oh, yes, I would have. She's just like, honestly, Kevin, I don't know. I don't know what I would have said,
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know.
somewhere out there, there's this parallel universe
Yeah.
where they didn't have the pregnancy, and we saw whatever was going to happen because the baby stuff did just take this to
Take
a
them.
whole different
Hmm.
avenue, a whole different territory. There's so much to think about after that. And we saw from Derek's point of view that it seemed like the decision was just a foregone conclusion. He was just like, "Oh yeah, of course we're going to say yes," because I mean,
Yeah.
the baby, right? She was the one that was like, "Well, I mean, we don't
Yeah.
have to
Okay.
be together to raise a baby." And I guess it kind of also goes to show what his mindset was like. Oh, I guess I'm stuck now
Yeah.
because according to him now, he wasn't happy.
Yeah. Which I'm glad she called him out on. Like, you're demeaning our relationship. You're acting like, no, that wasn't the thing, that ever happened. But Kevin asked her if there, things that she learned from this. And she was like, yeah, that she has things to work on. She hates how she reacted, but she doesn't want to be with someone who doesn't want her.
Camera
And
pans to Brittany.
Megan says that she's learned to slow it down, that she can be defensive and be in her head, but she has no ill will towards Derek, and she hopes he has his 3 kids.
Hmm. Just said with a tight smile.
Yes. So this was a little awkward because she says, I'm just gonna grow old with Brittany. Brittany and I, we've picked names. We're gonna live next to each other. And then Jalen's like, "How about me?" And they're like, "Jalen too."
Me too.
And
Here
then
too.
Jalen says, "Belinda and I will be traveling." And I'm like, "Rhonda?"
Well, no, Rhonda said that. Rhonda said me and Belinda are going to be traveling.
Oh, I thought Jalen said that because I was like, "So who's the odd woman out?"
Because
Okay,
Rhonda's like, well, I
okay, that's
guess
good.
Rhonda's like, I guess you're leaving the 2 old ladies out, so I guess we're going to go have fun somewhere else. And Belinda was just like, yeah. I'm getting the feeling that Rhonda's not like totally loved by the ladies.
I don't see them. Yeah, I actually, in fact, based on social media, it seems like she's closest with. They're the ones who keep posting pictures together, and it seems they're on friendly terms. But I don't see a lot of her with the rest of the cast.
Yeah. So I
We
mean,
need a "Where are they now?" I don't know what this
Jay,
means.
you're trying to pull us back into the lifetime
Lifetime.
realm so much. We need another
Well,
part two reunion. We
no.
need a Where There Now special. Get us back to the lifetime of it all.
No, because Jason, this is what I was scared of when we get this. What happens to the whole library of the all the 18 seasons that we have? Like, does Peacock have access to it? Can we do anything with it? Does history start with just 19? Like, if they do any specials, is it just, oh, our first couples on
Uh,
Peacock? Because that's what happened with Love Island. So I'm a little,
well,
you know,
Peacock currently has seasons 10 and 12 on the Married at First Sight page.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So at
Okay,
least they have
good.
10 and 12 right now. I don't know where, like, I don't know if it's like a rights issue. Like, I don't know where everything else. I think you can still get most of the seasons on Hulu, I think.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right. Oh, Lifetime gonna be petty and be like, huh, we're not giving you anything. I do have one last question before we wrap things up. What was your take on the experts not knowing that Derek and Megan were pregnant on decision day?
I thought that the juice was worth the squeeze there, where they, obviously production has a decision to make. Do we
Mm-hmm.
tell
Tell
them,
them.
or do we let them have that shocked moment
Okay.
at the decision day? And I think it was worth it to have that shocked moment where everyone's like, "Oh my god, really?" Because I mean, if you tell them, like, what advice are they going to give? Like, what is really going to be the guidance there?
The guidance is
Make sure you're putting each other first. Make sure you're working on the relationship. Actually, like, don't
make sure
forget.
you guys are being honest with each other. And
Yeah,
it's not just about the baby. It's easy to make it about the baby, but let's like dive into certain things so some person doesn't come up and say, "Well, I never loved you anyways."
yeah.
Like,
Don't forget about this relationship because you can be short sighted and only make it about the baby. Just remember that you
yeah.
guys have an actual relationship here that you
So
need
you
to
have to
put work
focus,
into.
yes. And you
Yeah,
just met, so it's going to change. So you make sure that your foundation is solid. And if it's not, you can co parent.
but production was like, nah, we want to see that shock face.
Why?
I think if things had turned out differently with Megan and Derek. I would have loved to see like the taping of like them telling the rest of the cast.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know how long they were pregnant.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think obviously we all wish it would have turned out differently, because it's such a tragic thing to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was such a that, and Asia and I were like, debating like on our podcast, like if they knew this was the outcome, should they have made it a part of the story? But as I was saying there, I think that type of thing happens in everyday life, and I think it's important to show that, right? Like
Yeah.
you can't just like pretend like it didn't happen. I think that would be like, you know disregarding the life that was.
Yeah.
And it is a part of a lot of people's reality. It's part of
Yeah.
everyone's, like a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people's everyday life. So I think it's important to show that and not kind of like pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah. Yes. This is very true. It's just tough, to be
Yeah,
honest.
it is. It's
It's
really
just
tough.
tough. So,
I think there
you
should have
know,
been. I think there would have been nice to have like a trigger warning, maybe, because I think a lot of people are very sensitive to that, and just to have it to kind of like be sprung out of nowhere was a little tough.
but you see, this is where they would have benefited if they were just a couple by themselves. And then Kevin could have just been like, hey, we're about to discuss something, but with everyone there. And it
Yeah.
didn't feel as personal as it should have. It just felt like
Yes.
it was a story and we have 1 hour and we're going to fit it in. And they just went through it.
Totally agree.
That's, yeah, the thing with that. But yeah. Okay. As always, we have gone long on this, but we got everything out.
We got it all out. This is the last time we get to talk like
Last
this
time.
about it. So we
Yeah.
got all the stuff out, and all the stuff that we're still missing that we want. That's on that cutting room floor somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere there's a whole other half season on a Peacock cutting room floor that we are missing out on, that we would have loved to see probably.
Mm-hmm. Jason, always a pleasure to have you on here. But can you
Thank you.
tell people where they can find you?
You can find me on my podcast that talks about Ready for Sight, called A Perfect Match, that I do with Survivor great Asia Welch. Um, so you can find us on Our Perfect Match. We do have a Patreon ourselves, where we, in this whole drop thing, we've been talking to past Married at First Sight participants, also podcasters like Tane. She was on there this season, along with her best friend Brian was on there. We also had Camille and Thomas. We're having Camille and Thomas again to talk about the reunion and decision day coming up this week. So check us out at A Perfect Match Podcast, wherever you get your podcast, patreon.com/Perfect Match Podcast. We have a Facebook group as well called the Perfect Match Podcast Facebook group. Tane, give me a password that the people could use that come from this podcast. Anything you think of.
Um, oh gosh.
On the
Why did
spot.
it just
On
get
the spot.
on the spot? Let's go 10 days.
10 days. 10 days. For Pat and Rhonda?
Yes.
How about 10 days with no love?
Yes.
Let's do that. So anyone that wants to come over to the Facebook group, come over and use that password, because you are required to put in a password so that we can make sure that you're not some weird bot or some other weird person coming in. 10 days of no love. Agree to the Facebook group rules and you'll be let in. And yeah, you can also check me out on The Good Pod, where me and Marissa Garza, we rewatched the show The Good Wife. Tane has been on that podcast as well. We are smack dab in the middle of season 4. It is a very niche podcast. It's not like a very like everyone to be into this, but if you were ever into the show The Good Wife, come on over. We're having fun. We're also talking about the current season of Elsbeth, which is a Good Wife spinoff. So if any of that floated your boat, come on over.
Yeah, you know where to find me on all the socials, all to call MAFS. Please give me a 5-star rating wherever you listen to podcasts. Stay subscribed so you don't miss out on any new episodes. And if you made it all the way here, I just want to thank you for rocking with me all season long for this season. It was every episode. It was like a marathon, but we made it. And we're looking forward to the next season, where I'm calling the first real season for Peacock. And fingers crossed. And I hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving. Hope you're able to be with your loved ones. And, stay subscribed, like I said, so you don't miss out on any episodes. So until next time, guys, bye.